Warning, this video will spoil the entire game.
Greetings! I welcome you to my new series. A pretentious hipster? I am unaware of such terms. Do you mean one who is afternoonified? No. More derogatory than that. Do you mean one who is Betty-fanged? One who is butter upon bacon? Ah, yes, indeed. So what is this idea? Why, look at what's around me. Why, it's Myst. Myst is one of the biggest game series out there. One that has revolutionized the point-and-click adventure genre. Why, there were so many clones made of Myst. But what of them? They have been forgotten, buried. You might as well say they are games lost in the mists of time. My journey is to explore them. Why, this week's episode is going to be something very special. One that you may have even heard of. Yes, this episode is going to be about...
Wait. First I gotta ask, you are qualified to do this, right?
Why, of course I'm qualified to do this. I have played so many point-and-click adventure games, including all of the obvious classics.
I mean, did you go through the entire Myst series?
Why, of course I have played that series. Why would I do such a series about playing the Myst games?
Well, I mean, yeah, everyone played the first one. But what about the rest of the series? Come on, man. I know you're lying. You're my alter ego. And I only reviewed the first game like a year ago. Yeah. About that? Come on, man. This is ridiculous.
I mean, of course I have reviewed them. Why, my review notes are in this book.
Oh, alright. Thanks.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to carriage away.
No, wait. You forgot your book. Oh well. I guess I'll go through it. What is this? Some sort of strange alphabet? I've never seen a lettering system like this. And over here? Is this some sort of numerical system? See some sort of diagrams here, images, machines. This isn't a rough notes or anything related to this game. I've been duped. But wait, what is this? Well, I have fallen into some sort of fissure from the linking book, having no idea where it will take me. But I know that this is a journey that I'll never forget. Ah! Where the hell am I? There's nothing in sight. Well, I guess I gotta trek through the desert. Wait, what's that in the distance? Is this some sort of trailer? I really hope it's not a mirage. There's a person there. Maybe they'll give me all the answers I need of where I am. Hey. Oh, welcome. My name's Andy. I probably know why you're here more than you do. What do you mean? Can you help? Wait. You just felt drawn here, just like the others. I can't really help you, but I can get you started. Here. This book should give you some information. Thanks. Great. Don't tell me I have to do this again. Wait. I know this place. Oh God, I have to review the first game again? I already did. Well, I could just beat this game in like 2 minutes. No, really. I could just go straight to the end of this. But I really hope not, but I might have to do the entire Myst series, so I might as well just do this legit. I forgot how great this pre-rendered world looks, especially for something almost as old as me. Well, if I remember correctly, I think there's something over the docks. At least some sort of start telling you where to go. It's time to go check out what's there. There seems to be some sort of hologram. I wonder what it's gonna say.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return. But if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, wait, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
It's kind of awesome that they at least give you some sense of direction of where to go. Kind of surprised that people were lost in this game. Well, unless they were kids when playing it. It seems like a library is the best place to go to. Let's go check it out. Who are you? You must help me. Please. Myst is easily one of the greatest games ever made. But I need proof of this. Bring me the pros of this game. I can't see. Hear me. I need the pros. You must show me the good parts of this game. Please, bring. Beg of you, bring the pros. Help me. I am Cirrus. Given up long ago. There is one thing I need to be rescued. Well, that was strange. Well, I might as well see what the other book says. Cirrus? Is that you? Who are you? See you, Akinar, to help me, to show that this Myst game is one of the worst games ever made. To bring the cons of this game forever and ever. The cons. I must have the cons of this game. Bring them to me, please. So if I get this straight, these two do indeed have incredibly polarizing views of this game. Well, I did already review this in the past, so this journey is going to be so simple. I already have the pages ready, I just need to hand it to them. Ah, you finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude for having to release me. My name is Cirrus. I trust that from your journey in this world, you've been convinced that my wicked brother Akinar is wrong, and that this is indeed one of the greatest games ever made. I have been imprisoned for having this opinion. Since showing me the page is not enough to tell the audience what you think of the game, why don't you tell it to them? Certainly. Well, right off the bat, this has a glorious setup. It leaves a minimal plot, pretty much just throwing you into this new world with little to no explanation. Well, you saw me a few minutes ago showing how it happened. It leaves you with so many questions, and I find it a good motivation for one to explore it. I've read that so many people as kids, and well, including me, were totally lost with this in the beginning. In fact, I don't think I ever made any progress except for those few switches lying around. I can see this being a flaw, but if you look into the small bit of dialogue given to you in the beginning, it actually gives a clear sense of direction for you. It tells you to go into the library to find the tower. It deals with 4 very obvious landmarks in the small island, and above the ladders they have straightforward hints on what to do with them. A semblance of the plot is when you talk to Cirrus and Akinar. They're both trapped in books that don't seem to be in any age. Well, at least I thought in this entry. It seems to be more like a sort of limbo, and they tell you to bring red pages for Cirrus or blue pages for Akinar, for them to be released from this prison. You are then off to find those pages. Now, there are tons of lore in this series, but I won't go too deep into it. There are two fantastic videos that will do it way better than I ever could, and I will leave their links in the description. Still, even when being lost, the island itself was fantastic to look at. Even with practically no animations and it mostly consisting of a slideshow, I was still in awe of everything it looked like. But the best part about this is the ambience. It is an almost surreal world, and it's empty to the point that seeing some birds, or even just listening to them, or the wind in the background, was enough to establish a mood. There are a few times when music comes in, and since it is so rare, it ends up being so effective. Anyways, back to the hints of this island. One puzzle was a total dick move, but when I looked into it, it's so devilishly clever that I couldn't help but admire it. You have these 3 numbers on dials, and you have to change it from 333 to 221 within 9 rotations. One of them rotates the top 2, while another rotates the bottom 2. I spent like an hour trying to figure it out. It reached the point where I was working my way backwards with some sheets of paper to try to solve it. It turns out, it's actually mathematically impossible to achieve this within the specified amount of turns. So what is the solution? You have to hold one of the levers and only the middle one will move. I had this strange feeling of being so frustrated, but laughing at how clever it was at the same time. As you solve these, you will come across more books in these landmarks. Like the initial one, it will cause you to teleport into another world, which in this series are called ages. Each of them have a distinct theme, and their own sets of puzzles. They were always a joy to be in. Each of these ages have 2 very important areas, and it's the rooms that belong to Cirrus and Akinar. In pretty much all the ages, they have a room dedicated to themselves, and both of them have distinct, yet consistent themes. It makes it more intriguing because both of them have some truth in what they say to each other. Akinar is clearly a psychopath, who loves conquest and to destroy the other ages. In his rooms, they have a violent tone to them. The more obvious items are the torture devices. The music when you go into his rooms are more solemn and are borderline scary. Sirius, on the other hand, is considered to be filled with endless greed and is manipulative. Perhaps he's someone who would be willing to destroy the ages for personal wealth? It definitely shows it in his rooms. They are extravagant, but it seems like most of the prized possessions are stuff from the other ages, which implies that he has conquered those lands to receive those items. Many of them contain gold, which basically isn't subtle at all. In these areas, or at least nearby, you will find more red and blue pages. You have to return them to their respective person, and they will thank you, and their dialogue will be more clear and having less static. All of this is an effective way to give you the answers without shoving them in your face. It gives you that boost to figure it out yourself, but gives enough direction so that it's not too obtuse. These ages are also quite straightforward. Even if you're lost, they are small enough that you should eventually figure it out. But I almost never found myself lost in the first place. The puzzles are quite different from point and click stuff. There's no inventory in this. The puzzles come down to writing the symbols, numbers, letters, words, whatever that are given, and maybe even a tape recorder for the audio ones. Fortunately, in this day and age, pun intended, you can use your cell phone for all that stuff. And believe me, I used it quite often for this. So there you go, Cirrus. This definitely does have quite a few things going for it, and I would say I've enjoyed it.
I thank you. But it is clear that you have not said enough of this. Seriously? That's rude of you. I just want to get out of here. I mean, I'm helping you. Doesn't matter. You must find more info of this. And finally, I will be set free. There is a secret place in the fireplace. Recreate a specific pattern and bring me the last few pros of this game. Ignore the remaining cons, and especially ignore the green book. If you do so, you will be imprisoned forever. Well, Thanks, but I might as well go to Akinar to tell him the cons of this game first. Hello, I am Akinar. I am glad to see that you have returned to help me from escaping this wrongful imprisonment. It was Cirrus who did this to me. He was mad when I told him that this is one of the worst games ever made. Listen, he is wicked. Do not listen to him. In fact, go and tell the audience the cons of this game. Show them that it is one of the worst games ever made. Well, there are certainly a few things I can think about it with this. Some puzzles can be annoying. The keyboard one is a good example. You gotta do the right pitch for each note. And even though I'm not tone deaf, it was still way too difficult. The worst part of this though is actually retrieving the pages of it. Because there's no inventory, you can only take one page at a time. I get it because of the plot, but you will be more annoyed by it when you have to take one page, shove it in front of your face, drop it off, and then go back to the age to get the other colored one. It's at its worst in the Selenitic age. The age itself rules, but it's getting out that's the problem. You have a maze. You hear a certain noise effect that tells you what direction to go. Sometimes a combination tells you to go in between, like southwest. The problem is that you have to figure it out for yourself what sound constitutes which direction. You might not even reach a dead end for a long time, so it'll take ages, again pun intended. I found this great Reddit post that shows the map of it, and well, it speaks for itself. Trust me, I used a guide for this, and even with a guide, it takes like a good 7 minutes or so to get out. And you gotta get the other page if you want to hear what the other person says. If this is the last age you go into, and that's a big if, you will really only have to retrieve one page because one of the brothers will tell you how to get to the end of the game. But still, even one time was way too much. That's it? The game is much worse than that. Listen, go to the fireplace. The last page there will tell you all. You will see for yourself. And ignore... ignore the green book. I got it.
It's obvious that I'm going to have to interact with the green book. It's going to give me the rest of the info I need.
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Dunny. Not yet. I have many questions for you, my friend. As you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin?
But I shouldn't dive too deep into this. Shouldn't the people find out for themselves when they play the game? Still, Cirrus and Akinar are huge liars. They're both exaggerating their opinions of this game. It has their pros and cons, and a combination of them is what makes this special.
Oh, don't worry. This is super easy. Both of them are just way too polarizing about their opinions of this. Now, this is a great game, but to call it one of the greatest games ever, or one of the worst, is simply ridiculous. I could definitely see the influence this had on people though. It popularized the CD-ROM, and it was the best-selling game until The Sims came in. I'm gonna listen to you. Screw Cirrus and Akinar.
You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make. It is done. I have many questions for you, my friend, but my writing cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on world in which my wife, Catherine, is now being held hostage. Oh. And reward, I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Myst, the books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure.
Seriously? What the hell is wrong with you? I just want to get out of here.
I hope you find your explorations satisfying. You will no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more favor. I am fighting a foe much greater than my sons could even imagine. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Until that point, feel free to enjoy the explorations from my library on Myst. Thank you again.
No. Just no. I've already reviewed this game. This is the second time I'm doing it. Okay, fine. I'll help you find Catherine right now. Let's just go straight to it.